Good evening. I'm Enarida Flor and welcome to Churikua.
I don't know what to think or wonder. Anything from this nature had happened to me before until I saw it. I'm a student from UNAM on Morelia campus. I decided to take a workshop that seemed to be very interesting. It ended at 8. My friend Itzel and I decided to take it. But one day, after finishing the session, we stayed asking the facilitator some questions and organizing a project we had to hand in a few days. So we went out after 8:30. We went on the street and saw a very bony hand begging through one of the windows saying, "A piece of bread or a little water for God's sake. I'm dying." Without hesitation, I had half of my bottle of water and I gave it to her. We were concerned and feeling pity about her and decided to go running to the person in charge of monitoring. We told her what we saw, but she just had rolled eyes and accepted to go growingly. When we left, there wasn't anyone there. I explained that we had given her a bottle of water that was mine and actually bought it, and I wrote my name on it with a marker in order to not confuse with someone else. At the end, she said she would be looking forward to a case such as we described being on the place shown concerned by someone trying to do an awful joke or the most possible thing that maybe with giving the bottle to a homeless person. Next day, she told us she had found the bottle of water empty, thrown in that place. A janitor found it and gave it back. She gave it to me and it was empty, of course. It was highly possible that a homeless person drank the water and threw it right there. But we, tired of that, preferred to agree with her. But we decided to look for more information and know what was going on. Once the workshop session finished, we decided to delay the time to leave, going to the restroom, talking until it was already 8:30, and went to the same place, but we didn't see anything. Some days passed without any results, so during those days, we had been always bringing something, a torta, a sandwich, or cookies, with the idea of giving it to her, and of course asking her name at least. A week later, we ran into her. We saw her hand and we took it. I asked Excel to record her because if not, we won't have evidence in case we have to talk with any authority and won't believe us. We heard her saying again, "A piece of bread or a little water, for God's sake, I'm dying." I grabbed her hand and I told her, "Calm down, calm down. We have water and food for you. Thank you so much. What's your name?" "Leonor." At the moment she told me her name, I stopped grabbing her hand and started preparing everything to give her food. Meanwhile, I continued talking to her. "I'm Laura, and she's my friend Itzel. We want to help you. Why are you telling us you are dying? We want to help you. Why are you here? How did you get in?" I gave her food, and after that, she just said, "Thank you so much for the meal. I live here. Everybody know me. Maybe you are from another place and you don't know that, but my father is a very important man. And my stepmother, well, I prefer not to tell you more about. After all, no one can help me more beyond what you have done at this time." Thank you so much for your help. Later on, I took the lantern off my cell phone and pointed at the window, but there wasn't any answer from her. I felt pretty sad and concerned. Her hand was bony, dirty, and very, very cold. Next morning, I took advantage of my classes, not starting yet. So I asked my boyfriend because all his family is from there, and he didn't he didn't know her. So I told him what happened to us the night before, and he told us, "That sounds like the legend of the hand on the fence." Little later, he told us about this story, which is very old. It was from the colonial age, when the city's name was Valladolid. A Spanish man called Don Juan Núñez de Castro, who got married with his beloved Doña Leonor del Paso in Spain. They both had an only daughter called Leonor. After Leonor was born, Doña Leonor died. After the widow period, and due to the ideas of the time, and little Leonor needing a mother, Don Juan found Doña Margarita, who seemed to be the ideal person. After having several issues with businesses, he decided to move to New Spain, to Valladolid, where his fortune increased and became a very famous and a man of respect. Leonor grew up and was highlighted because of her beauty. Doña Margarita, who had already been bad with her since they were in Spain, was waiting for those long business trips which Don Juan did in order to lock Leonor down and didn't allow her, except on Sundays, just to go to Mass. There, and with her great beauty, a handsome viceregal guard, Manrique de la Serna y Frias, fell in love with her immediately, and his love was reciprocal. Secretly, he went to see her in the basement through the window, and they enjoyed their love, and Manrique decided to ask her family to marry her and went to see the Viceroy. Doña Margarita realized this and forbade the Eastmen to see her or bring her any food or water. The windows were covered, and because of Leonor's despair, one of the goods got broken. So, to read, she was begging for some bread or water. People realized about this, and the rumors spread out. But due to the fact they were a famous and an important family, Doña Margarita was able to get away with it until time and fortune put the pieces all together, making Don Juan and Don Manrique came across on the road, and he gave him the letter, and Don Juan accepting the proposal amazed. But he decided that the formalities could be finished once Doña Margarita knew about it. When they arrived, Doña Margarita was unable to run away, and once a maid screamed, echoing the place, they realized Leonor died in the basement, dirty, bony, and with any piece of beauty was behind. This caused great pain and grief in Don Manrique. He and Leonor were married, and she was buried a little later. I showed him the video, but it was as if a translucent hand was there, almost unseen. I couldn't believe my eyes. I felt bad, but I started feeling worse seeing how much Leonor had been suffering and still is. Since that day, we haven't seen her again, but we agreed with the fact that if we see her again, we would all help her as far as we are allowed to.